Yes. Good afternoon, students. So let us see the video today. We are going to watch a beautiful video on the lesson, that is forest, our lifeline. Okay. Just wait, students. Volume is there, but why it is? Just a minute.
Hello students, I hope you all are fine and taking very good care of your health. Today, we are going to take chapter number 17, class 7 science, forest or lifeline. Before starting this chapter, let me ask you a few questions. Name a few things that you use at your home and are made up of food. Yes, your answers are right. Table, chair, doors of our houses and the bed on which we sleep are made up of wood. So students, can we replace these things with things made with other material, that is other than wood? Yes, we can, but we use wooden objects. The wood for making these objects is obtained from forest. For obtaining wood, we have cleared a major area of forest land. Now students, do you know why forests are called green lungs? So, in today's chapter, we shall learn about forests and their importance in our life and why they are called green lungs. To understand about forests, today we shall visit a forest. For visiting, we need a few things. So, take along with yourselves a knife, a hand lens, a stick, a notebook. So students, are you ready to move into the forest? So let us go inside the forest. So here we are. Now let me take you to a place at a height from where we all can see the broad view of the forest. Children, aren't you surprised? We cannot see any land. The different tree tops had formed green cover over the land. However, this cover is not uniformly green. Students, you must be noticing that here environment is peaceful and a cool breeze is blowing. You all are looking quite fresh and happy. Aren't you all? Let us now walk down the slope. You all must be excited on hearing sound of birds and some noises from the top branches of the trees. Students, please relax. It is a normal phenomena here. Because of our presence, some monkeys have climbed high up on the trees where they disturbed the birds. Animals often give this type of warning call to alert other animals. There are many other animals like boar, bison, jackals, porcupine, elephants, and tigers that live in the deeper forest. So children, we should not go deep into the forest. Students, we have studied about forests as an example of a habitat in class 6. You can see now how the forest provides a home for many animals and plants. We can find that there are several trees, shrubs, herbs, and grasses in the forest. The trees are also covered with different types of creepers and climbers. Now you will be wondering, why is it dark inside the forest? The sun is barely visible through the leaves of the trees, making it quite dark inside the forest. You must be wondering, who would have planted these trees? For your information, in nature, trees produce enough seeds. The forest floor provides favorable conditions for them to germinate and develop into seedlings and saplings. Some grow into trees. Students, can you notice the branchy part of a tree above the stem? It is known as crown of the tree. Now you all look up and observe how the branches of the tall trees look like a roof over the other plants in the forest. This is called a canopy. Now take out your notebooks and draw the crowns of some trees. Trees have crowns of different types and sizes. These have created different horizontal layers in the forest. These are known as understories. Giant and tall trees constituted the top layer, followed by shrubs and tall grasses, and herbs form the lowest layer. Aren't you wondering, would we see similar kind of trees in every forest? No. Due to different climatic conditions, there are variations in the types of trees and other plants. The types of animals also differ from forest to forest. Students, you have read about autotrophs, heterotrophs, and saprotrophs. You have learned how green plants produce food. All animals, whether herbivores or carnivores, depend ultimately on plants for food. Organisms which feed on plant often get eaten by other organisms, and so on. For example, grass is eaten by insects, which in turn is taken up by the frog. The frog is consumed by snakes. This is said to form a food chain. First grass, then insect, then frog, then snake, and then finally eagle, or you can take peacock. You can see that many food chains can be found in the forest. All food chains are linked. If any one food chain is disturbed, it affects other food chains. Every part of the forest is dependent on the other parts. If we remove one component, say trees, all other components would be affected. Suppose there were no trees, shrubs, or greenery in the forest. Then the plant-eating animals wouldn't have survived. And in turn, carnivores wouldn't have survived. In this way, many food chains thrive in the forest and all animals depend on the forest. Students, you can see that the forest floor is covered with leaves. Pick up leaves from the forest floor and observe them under a hand lens. You can find tiny mushrooms over the decaying leaves. We can see an army of tiny insects, millipedes, ants, and beetles on them. Apart from these animals, which can be easily seen, there are several organisms and microorganisms that live in the soil. Mushroom and microorganisms feed upon the dead plants and animal tissues and convert them into a dark colored substance called humus. Students, humus is very important for the soil and it increases the soil fertility. The microorganisms which convert the dead plants and animals to humus are known as decomposers. These microorganisms play an important role in the forest. Let us remove some dead leaves. Now you can see a layer of humus on the floor. The presence of humus ensures that the nutrients of the dead plants and animals are released into the soil. From there, these nutrients are again absorbed by roots of the living plants. Now you would like to know what happens if an animal dies in the forest. The dead animals become food for vultures, crows, jackals and insects. In this way, nutrients are cycled, so nothing goes waste in the forest. Students, in the beginning, I have asked you a question. Why forests are called green lungs? Students, plants release oxygen through the process of photosynthesis. The plants help to provide oxygen for animal respiration. They also maintain the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. That is why forests are called lungs, that is the green lungs of the earth. If there were no green lungs, our lungs would have been of no use. Students, look up in the sky. Clouds are forming. You have already learned about the water cycle in the class 6th. Trees take up water from the soil through their roots and release water vapors into the air through evaporation. Trees play an essential role in the water cycle. If there were fewer trees, the water cycle will also have been affected. Forest is not just home for plants and animals. Many people also live in the forest. Some of them may belong to different tribes. These people depend mostly on the forest. The forest provides them with food, shelter, water and medicines. They have traditional knowledge about many medicinal plants in the forests. Look there, a herd of deer is drinking water in the small stream. And you can also see that some are crossing the stream. Oh, they ran away and disappeared into the branches. The dense bushes and tall grass provide animals with food and shelter. They also protect them from carnivores that live in the forest. Now, look closely at the forest floor. You can see droppings of some animals. Different animals have different type of droppings. The forest officers could recognize the presence of some animals in the forest by their droppings and footprints. Everyone come here and see, here is a large decaying heap of animal dropping. Several beetles and grubs are feeding on the heap and a bunch of seedlings are sprouting. These seedlings are the herbs and shrubs. The animal also disperse the seeds of certain plants and help the forest to grow and regenerate. The decaying animal dung also provides nutrient to the seedling to grow. By harboring greater varieties of plants, the forest provides greater opportunities for food and habitat for the herbivores. Larger number of herbivores means increased availability of food for a variety of carnivores. The wide variety of animals helps the forest to regenerate and grow. Similarly, decomposers help in maintaining the supply of nutrients to the growing plants in the forest. Therefore, the forest is a dynamic living entity full of life and vitality. Now, I think we should go and see. Here is a large decaying heap of animal dropping. Several beetles and grubs are feeding on the heap and a bunch of seedlings are sprouting. These seedlings are the herbs and shrubs. The animal also disperse the seeds of certain plants and help the forest to grow and regenerate. The decaying animal dung also provides nutrient to the seedling to grow. By harboring greater varieties of plants, the forest provides greater opportunities for food and habitat for the herbivores. Larger number of herbivores means increased availability of food for a variety of carnivores. The wide variety of animals helps the forest to regenerate and grow. Similarly, decomposers help in maintaining the supply of nutrients to the growing plants in the forest. Therefore, the forest is a dynamic living entity full of life and vitality. Now, I think we should go back. Oh, it has started raining now. Let's stand under the tall tree for some time. You can now observe that the raindrops are not hitting the floor directly, that is the forest floor directly. The uppermost layer of the forest canopy is intercepting the flow of raindrops, and most of the water is coming down through the branches and the stems of the trees. From the leaves, it is dripping slowly over the branches of the shrubs and herbs. Now you can see the ground is still dry, and after some time, at some places, now we can see that the floor is getting wet. Oh, now it has stopped raining. You must have observed that water is not stagnating in the forest floor. If it had rained so heavily in our town, it would have flooded the drains and the roads. The forest acts as a natural absorber of rainwater and allows it to seep. It helps maintain the water table throughout the year. Forests not only help in controlling flood but also help maintain the flow of water in the streams so that we get a steady supply of water. On the other hand, if trees are not present, rain hits the ground directly and may flood the area around it. Heavy rain may also damage the soil. Roots of the trees normally bind the soil together, but in their absence, the soil is washed away and eroded. Students, forests are very important for us, but increasing demand of wood has created pressure on the forest. Forests are vanishing. The most of living animals in the forest are on the verge of extinction. We all know that we are dependent on plants, but still we are not taking it seriously and we are not taking any concrete steps to save the forest. So students, if we want to survive, then we must preserve our forests. We should actively work for their preservation and plant more and more trees. Now, let us return back. But before returning, let me give you a homework. After reaching home, you all will write importance of forest in your notebook. Now, let us revise what we have learned today. We all get various products from the forests surrounding us. Forest is a system comprising various plants, animals and microorganisms. In a forest, trees form the uppermost layer, followed by shrubs. The herbs form the lowest layer of vegetation. Different layers of vegetation provide food and shelter for animals, birds and insects. The forest keeps on growing and changing and can regenerate. Forests protect the soil from erosion. Forests are lifeline for the forest-dwelling communities. Forests influence climate, water cycle and air quality. And in the end, forests are green lungs of earth. Now, I shall ask you a few questions. First of all, some filling in the blanks. First one, dash, dash and dash are forest products. So give any three names. And the answers are wood, medicine, gun. And you may give other options also. Now the second fill in the blank. Or they help in bringing rainfall. And the answer is forest. Forest help in bringing rainfall. Third, forest help in maintaining balance of dash and dash in atmosphere.
So students, now third answer you can give. Forest help in maintaining the balance of dash and dash in the atmosphere. What is your answer? Students, give the answer. Third one. Balance of dash and dash in the atmosphere. What is the answer? Yes, students. Correct. Yes, Elise. Oxygen, Shardul, oxygen and carbon dioxide, correct. Ayush Kumar Singh is also correct. Okay, so it is, remember that it is
and the right answer is forest help in maintaining balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide in atmosphere. Now the fourth one, forests are called green dash of earth.
So fourth one answer, forest is called green dash of earth. How many of them will answer now? Forest is called green dash of earth. Yes, Anushka Brande, Shardul, Ayush Kumar. Yes, correct. Okay. So it is green lungs.
And I know you all know the answer. Forests are called green lungs of earth. Now, there is a picture with you and you have to label following.
So here, this one you have to label and this one also you have to label. You can see the picture once again. Just wait. This one and this one. Yes, students. Yes, Shardul. Correct? Yes. So it is correct. Canopy and understory.
First of all, canopy. Second one, understory.
Correct.
So label it. Yes, upper layer is called canopy and lower layer is understory. So students, with this we finish our chapter and I hope that you have understood the chapter well. Now, I also hope that you all will actively participate and play your respective roles.
Yes, student, I wanted to play another one also, but that is again, I am not understanding why it is not playing with the sound. Okay, so student, I will show it tomorrow or any day. Now, the next your attendance link, just wait. Yes, Garima, that is having no sound only. Just wait, students. Yes, The link is here. Till then you go through the link. I will just see why it is, what is the problem with that, why it is not working. Okay, don't know why it is not working, but no problem. Now you have seen one video also. Okay, so try to complete the question and answers, students. Okay, yes, so okay, re-download. ठीक है, let us see. Yes, so students, finished. Okay, so let me see if it is downloading again. Okay, so thank you students, and tomorrow again you write down the question answers and we will go for the last lesson. If this one is getting downloaded, I will download, and then after this, after showing this, then we will move for the last lesson, that is the story of waste water or waste water story. Okay, so what happens to the waste water, what is the process taking place, all water treatment जो हो रहा है, होता है, even here also the plant, sewage water treatment plant है हमारा, isn't it? So most of them have seen, वही procedure है, वही सब कुछ उसमें दिखाना भी है. So the same procedure is there, how the water is, first how the water is purified and then how the sewage water is cleaned. So that treatment is also there. So that is given in the waste water story. Okay, understood students? So fill the link everyone. So thank you students, thank you so much. So tomorrow if it is getting downloaded, then I will show you, otherwise we will start with the new lesson. Before that, write down in the notebook, complete the question and answers properly, because your physical classes will be starting. So I will be checking the notebooks, so it should be ready, it should be completed, clear to all. Your notebooks should be completed. Okay, thank you students.